pick the part of the plant, you put it into an appropriate form that is suitable for the body to use. So, for instance, if you wanted to use something for your skin, and the action you want is local, then it is important that you put it into a product that is suitable for the skin.
Okay.
So you put into an ointment or a cream or something similar.
Okay.
So you don't tell somebody, go and swallow an ointment or...
For the skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very, very
That's not
important.
happening, though. Some of these things are checked.
Yes. That is the reason why it is important that you understand the reason for putting herbs into the right formulations. Yeah, so you don't just pick a plant and because somebody says it's good for this or that, you just decide to use it anyhow. You should know how you are supposed to formulate it and use it for the right purpose.
So the formulation process is, how is that? Like you said, so if somebody wants to give a skin just for rubbing the skin, you don't have to give the person a tablet. Is that what the formulation is about?
Okay, so basically when you are doing formulation development, there are a number of things that you look at.
Okay.
And you look out for what the drug is intended to be used for, like my colleague mentioned. So, for example, if it's a topical preparation for the skin, then you know that whatever you are going to prepare, the formulation has to be good for the skin. The other thing you have to look out for is also the nature of the medicine you are looking at. So usually we call something folkloric uses.
Okay.
Herbal medicine over the years have been used in a particular way. So maybe some of them, they boil, some of them, they rub in their palms and they apply. When you are formulating, you don't want to totally veer off from what the people are used to. So you look at how is it traditionally being used. And then based on that knowledge you have, you then develop it to do the formulation. Yes. Another thing you also want to look at is whether the material can easily decompose or not. So depending on the nature of the material, for example, if it's material that can decompose easily in water, then when you are formulating, you are looking at something that will not have a lot of aqueous base. So all these factors are some of the things that you will look out for before you formulate. You also want to look at how expensive or how affordable or how cheap it's going to be. Because when you are doing the formulation, one of the factors that make people love herbal medicine is the fact that it's very affordable. And so you also don't want to do a formulation that is too expensive that people would not want to buy. And so when you are developing the formula, you look at all these things. Yeah.
So in that case, in terms of affordability and all of that, the capacity, the ability of whatever medicine to perform the job that it's supposed to perform, as against the other aspect of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's herbal, and then we're looking at the scientific or whatever it is, if you want to put it that way. How do you then decide that this is what we want for local people, this is what we want for, because this will do a certain job, this one will do a certain job? Or there's a way we can merge the two and say, this is good for you, this is good for you. But because it suits a certain kind of people, we want to give them this local one. Or it suits a certain kind of people. Who decides on that?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So these are all scientific things that you do.
Okay.
But it is very important to also study the preferences of whichever category of people you are dealing with. So let's say at our place at the Center for Plant Medicine Research, where we have our vision is to make herbal medicine a natural choice for all. We will normally have a lot more of the elderly people visiting our clinic.
Okay.
And most of them have their preferences in the liquids, which are the decoctions, the tinctures, because they may want to have that herbal feel, the bitter feel of medicines. But as well, you also have another percentage, not as much as the elderly, which are the younger ones coming in. And they prefer herbal products that are easy and convenient to carry about, tablets, capsules, and all. So you are not stuck with one thing.
Okay.
You could do both. So you could have a decoction product. That's the liquid form, which is normally seen on the market a lot. And you could have that same decoction. You could have a capsule of it. You could have a tablet of it. So it is about studying the preferences of the categories of people you are dealing with. And if you are going into international markets, you realize that for the international markets, they also, most of the time, want products that are convenient, easy, well-packaged and all. So they will be more interested in the tablets, the capsules, and the teas, things that are very convenient. So you could have one herbal product, herbal plant material, and you could actually use it to formulate different types of formulation depending on the category of people that you are dealing with.
Great. You spoke about taking it to international. So it means that we're doing well with our herbal, medications that we're putting out there. What are some of the things that we look at, from where we sit before we say, in terms of efficacy, we want to take our products out there on the international market and we do not have any problems with them?
Okay, so usually in terms of efficacy, at the center, there are various research departments. So there's the part that looks at the pharmaceutical analysis of the product. That's the pharmaceutics department. So after the product is done, you need to do a bit of some pharmaceutical tests to see. So for example, if you are talking about tablets, you want to see, are the weights uniform? Are the contents uniform? So you are saying it contains this herbal product. This is the dose of the herbal product. You want to be sure, does it contain the exact dose you are talking about? Then you go ahead to do something we call the dissolution studies. So it helps you to know how the drug is released over time, over a period of an hour. And once the drug releases well in these fluids, it's anticipated that they would do well. It would release the active ingredients, which is the herbal product. Then after it's done, we also have some microbial analysis we do that's handled by the microbiological department. So you want to make sure that these products are not contaminated with microbes, because you don't want a product that is solving a problem A and going to give another problem B. So you have to make sure that it's clean or safe from microbes. So we do this microbial analysis too. And then we go ahead to do the toxicity study of it. So you want to know acutely, is it toxic? We do acute toxicity studies. We do subacute. We do chronic toxicity studies, depending on how long you are going to take the product. So for some products, you are going to take over a long period of time. For chronic conditions, you need to be sure that it's safe for the patient. Then other things that we do is, before you even do the formulation, you do the efficacy study you talked about. So you say a formulation has, say, antimicrobial properties, or you say it has maybe hypertensive properties, or whatever property you are claiming. There are models that you use to assess, to be sure that it has the property that you are talking about. Then after you are done with everything, you have to take it to the FDA to register your product. And after it's gone through this whole procedure, when you have the marketing authorization, then you can look at targeting the international market. So as you see, a lot goes into it. Before the drug comes out, there has been series and series of tests and processes that the drug has been run through, so that the end user is assured of the quality, the efficacy, and the safety of the product.
I know your institution actually takes a lot of pain in ensuring that people who bring their products there are able to go through that rigorous process that will ensure that at the end of the day we're bringing something quite positive onto the market. But in the past times, we've had issues of people buying a certain medication, using it, and developing another problem with that medication they used. I mean, you mentioned that briefly in your submission, but I want us to take a look at it. I know the case may not be the same as it used to be in the past, but what was the reason for that? Was it that the people were not really understanding how they want that medication to solve the problem out there, or it was from that where you said?
All right. So it is very important that all people who deal with herbal medicines, or claim to have them sold on the market understand the importance of bringing their products for especially safety analysis. Yes, because it's true that your products may be able to solve a particular health condition, but is it safe?
Exactly.
Yes, and so we as pharmacists, we always say that everything is almost like a poison. It's the dose at which you take it that determines whether it's poisonous or not. So
you can have a very okay medicine, let me put it that way, okay medicine.
Yes.
But based on the dose you took, it becomes harmful to you.
Yes. So it's very important that all herbalists and anybody who deals with herbal medicine understands the importance of making sure that their medicines are safe. And you can only do that with checking. So constantly, the FDA and the center as well encourages all herbal practitioners to always bring their products for these analysis before they are sent out to the market to be given to consumers to take. Because if you don't do that, maybe somebody's headache will be cured, but you would have given the person maybe stomach ulcer or something else. So it is up to all of us. The media can also help us to encourage herbal medicine practitioners to always make sure that they send their products for safety analysis before they give to patients. So I think those were some of the reasons why maybe there were reports, several reports of maybe medicines giving people other conditions apart from what they wanted to solve.
Great. So. Let's now take a look at, and it still has to do with the dosage thing. So for me, for example, I'm a herbal practitioner. I have a certain medication. I feel that this medication will be able to cure maybe headache. The dosage for that, according to me, is that take once, twice a day. When I bring it to the center, or maybe before I go through all those processes, is the center going to be going to be using what I think the person is supposed to be taking them to prescribe for the person, or it's me who will say, okay, yes, I think it's twice a day, so let's make it twice a day. Or the center can look at it and say, based on the processes that we've gone through, it's supposed to be once a day.
Okay, so what I would want to say to that is, before you even develop a formula, you're supposed to have done the background study, which I was talking about, look at efficacy. So you do a bit of the animal testing and all those things to be sure that the right doses are what you are going to use. But however, you know, with herbal medicine practice, this is a practice that has been passed on from generation to generation to generation. So sometimes these people have picked the knowledge from a generation before, and they know that if you take this amount and this amount, it will give you the activity you intend to get. So when they come, then we serve as consultants to help them put it in perspective. Now, when we do this safety study, it will tell us if, for instance, a person is saying, take it this way, and you do safety studies using the method that you are supposed to take, and you realize that it's not going to be safe for the end user, or it's going to cause a bit of organ damage or something, then you definitely not encourage it. Then you go into advice. So that's what we do. Once you are doing the formulation development and you come, certain people, they have the herbs. They know what the herbs are supposed to be used for, but they don't even have an idea as to which formulation will be appropriate. So when they come, we combine the folkloric knowledge that they have with the scientific knowledge we provide to come up with doses for them. That is if they did our consultant.
So it means that others will also show up as well.
Yes.
They just put theirs on the market without consulting.
Oh yeah, people do that, which is not the best.
So in addition to that, so we do 3 basic safety studies for herbalists. We do the microbiological studies, which will check whether the product has any microbial contaminants in them. And then the toxicity studies. That is going to tell whether the dose you are claiming on your product is safe
or not.
is safe or not.
Yeah.
If it is
which is
not,
very important.
which is
because
very
doses
important.
kill people.
Yes. So that is the
Overdoses kill
toxicity
people.
studies. And then there is the phytochemical analysis, which will show you, which will actually confirm whether there is a plant component in your product as you claim.
Okay.
And tell you that there are various phytochemical constituents in the product. And then whether there are some unsafe phytochemical constituents in it as well. So that's
the analysis takes care of all of these.
Yes. Safety. Safety is actually very important, even sometimes more important than the efficacy. So first, be safe.
Before you think about if it works.
But do these practitioners, let me put them that way, understand what you're telling me now?
Yeah, I think, you see, there is GAFTRAM, Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners, which does very well to try and bring all herbal practitioners together. But like in every field of work, you have some people who would decide never to join these associations to get the much needed information as to how to go about their things and just go about selling anyhow. Some may have the idea, like she said, from generational like handover, but others may just want to make some money. So for them, they may not be concerned about whether it's safe or unsafe. They will just go ahead and sell. But it is up to all of us to keep encouraging those who genuinely do not have any idea what to do and need to know, but as well be ready to regulate the Food and Drugs Authority to help in regulation of those who just want to make money because they think it's a sector that a lot more people are interested in and people would like to switch to traditional.
Just to make some quick money. Which is the truth, by the way. I mean, it's a place once you get there and you're able to talk well. Anything you're selling sells. But if you just join us here on the show, this is our Good Living for Prime Morning today. We're looking at herbal medicine formulation and development, and we've spoken a lot about it. If you just join us, you've missed, some very important things. But we're trying to see how best we can, make you catch up here on the show. Doris is here with me, and Mrs. Genevieve is also here with me, and they are from the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Mampong-Akuapem, and they're educating us on that. It's still the Ghana month, and so we're putting our attention on herbal medicine, the formulation of it, of course, the development as well. And let's talk about. I think that it's an interesting thing, process that involves this whole idea of starting medication and getting to the end point of it, which is the testing part that you spoke about. And then again, you mentioned that briefly in your submission as well. The use of animals to test and see the efficacy, the dosage, whatever it is, to ensure that this medication is good for human consumption. How does the institution regulate that? Because if I'm a herbal practitioner and I am supposed to do this myself, or before I come to you, or if when I come to you, then you say, okay, let's do the testing, which is which? Because I can decide to say I have some hen in the house, I've given the hen. The hen didn't have the headache I wanted to cure, so the medicine can go. Meanwhile, maybe it's not the hen that would make anything positive out of that medication. How is that?
Okay, so these tests are not tests that you can do on your own. So like I said, although you are working with animals, they are models, and they are people who have been trained, they are scientists who have been trained and have gathered years of experience and expertise on it. And so you cannot just be at home and say, oh, I gave it to...
Find my dog cat
and no, that's not how it's done. So thankfully, one of the tests that FDA requires prior to registration is for you to do that safety studies, which is the toxicity studies. And so anybody who brings their product through the center, it's a mandatory test that is done. Yes. So once you come to the center, all this will be handled for you because you cannot do it in the house. That's the thing. You cannot do it in the house.
It's the most dangerous part of it because once you're able to clear that part of it, it means that it's safe for people association, they are not going there for the knowledge that they need to do some of the things that they do. And so I think it is I don't know how many times that you guys speak about that aspect of it. This is the first time that I'm even hearing about the processes that, you would have to go through in terms of the testing, to be sure. Because what people know is that we get the testing more. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so I think it's a part that we need to be talking about the more, so people get to understand some of these things.
Let me
check the GSDF.
Okay. All right. So the center, in a bid to help with the herbal drug development and to see to some of these concerns that are usually raised, has fortunately gotten a grant from the Ghana Skills Development Fund.
Okay.
And the main aim of that fund is to help develop most of our liquid products into solid forms for convenience and to allow for easy dosaging, improve their quality and all that. And in addition, the fund is also supporting us with training for herbalists. So we're going to get herbalists trained in operations of some technology we'll be acquiring to help in the preparation or formulation of the solid dosage forms. As well, we are going to train them on how to prepare these dosage forms, to prepare the products. And then in addition, we will train them on current good manufacturing practices. This is all aimed at making sure that whatever products they are doing are safe for the consumer to use, and they are following the right processes in their manufacturing. Yes, so the Ghana Skills Development Fund has been of great help in this regard, and the center is collaborating with them, so we get these trainings conducted this year, yes, for herbalists to help to increase the development of the herbal products.
In terms of
give them a very
participation,
good appeal.
Great. In terms of participation, is it very lackadaisical on the part of the herbal practitioners, or it's something that when it comes up, like you say, in this training and all, it's something when it comes up they are willing to be part of it?
Oh yes,
Very
they are
willing.
very willing.
The herbal practitioners?
Yes, they are very willing. Actually, there are trainings that we go for that they are even ready to pay for.
Oh, is it?
Yes, they are ready to pay
so
for.
it's not as bad as we thought they were.
No.
In terms of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because we know whenever you say somebody is into herbal medication, you know what comes with it. I mean, an illiterate who has been passed on to some way of doing concoction or whatever it is, and the person is just leveraging on that to
make money.
Exactly, make money. I didn't know that even they are willing to.
Yes, they are actually willing to pay. So you see, because it's a sector where a lot of people see opportunity.
Yeah.
And whenever people see opportunity, a lot too do not care how they are going to make use of that opportunity, even if it is to the detriment of others. So you have the people, like I said, GAFTRAM will put them together. They are willing always to participate in things that will help their growth. And you have those who have deliberately made up their mind that they just want to make money, they don't care. So with the herbalists, those who are together, they are always willing to partake in training programs that are organized, especially by the center. They actually sometimes bring requests.
Oh.
Yes,
That's good.
For training. They actually bring requests.
To also put what she's saying in perspective, not too long ago, I think in November, we held a national symposium on herbal medicine with them at the British Council, where we discussed how best we can move herbal medicine forward. I think we had the Deputy Minister of Health in attendance. We had Dr. Titus Berio. We had the President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. So we all came together to deliberate on how to make herbal medicine a natural choice for all, which the center stands for. So yes, we do these things,
I see. Makes a lot of sense. So there's a quick experience. I sat in the bus from Accra to Kumasi, And as always, you know that we'll get to a point where we're getting closer and closer to Kumasi, and our folks will come and sit in. We know that they are passengers, but they end up herbal medicine
entrepreneurs
who are here to sell, you know. And this gentleman actually gets into the bus, started talking about, you know, a certain issue about accidents, relating that into the people sitting in the bus. They are very good at marketing, no doubt about that, you know, and narrowed it down to where he wants to get to, which is selling his product. Now he brings out a product and gives to somebody for free. He says, I'm giving this to you for free. It's my gift to you. And start mentioning the things it can cure. He ended up mentioning about 4 different sicknesses that medicine can actually cure. I was sitting there, I was a bit worried. And I was worried because for me, I am thinking that if I get any medicine from the West, it's either maybe it's taking care of my headache or it's taking care of maybe my stomach ache. But yes, a man who is saying that what he's selling can cure about 4 different kinds of sicknesses. And so I want to find out, is there any herbal medicine that can cure 4? And also, is there any medicine from the West that can cure both headache, stomach ache? I'm a lame person. I have no understanding of it. Is it possible? So that I don't sit in a bus and I see a herbal man selling medicine that is curing 4 disease or sicknesses, and I'll judge him. I will not judge the one that is coming from Abuluchiri.
All right. So fortunately, both I and Genevieve are pharmacists by training.
Great.
Yes. And so when this question always comes out, I laugh a bit because, you know, the funny thing is that orthodox medicines normally have more than one indication. Where maybe you have paracetamol. Paracetamol is not only for headache.
Okay.
It's for fever. You know that? Yeah. So sometimes, you know, the claim.
That's 2.
Yeah, you could
not
have.
More than 2.
Let's say if you had an antibiotic, for instance.
I want to know that those that have the potential of curing 4 different diseases.
Wow! I could mention a lot of medications, but because we are
in herbal.
Yes, So which can cure even more than the 4 you are talking about.
She's talking about antibiotics. Certain antibiotics can cure so many different conditions, infections. So if you take something like amoxicillin, I mean, just we can use it for many infections. So you don't. It's not like one fixed infection. You can use it to take care of many infections, depending on the etiology or the nature of the disease. So, like she's also saying, for herbal medicine, God is so wonderful that you can pick a leaf or you can pick the bark of a tree, and then there are many things in the bark of a tree. So, like she said, what is giving the efficacy are the phytochemicals. So when you do your extraction or when you boil, for example, it's possible you would extract certain phytochemicals, and the different parts of the phytochemicals might be taking care of different things. So for example, if you extract and you get, say, phenolics or flavonoids, you know that these have antioxidant properties. Once they do have antioxidant properties, they can take care of any disease condition that has to do with oxidation going on. So it's possible.
And unfortunately, we are not saying it's possible just by word of mouth. There are thousands of studies and research works that gets to take just one plant material, one part of a plant material, and its anti-diabetic potential will be checked and is there. Its anti-hypertensive potential will be checked and is there. And other properties, maybe pain relief, you will check, and this one plant material has all these properties. So that one is in no doubt that it may be able to work. However, it is the exaggeration.
That comes with.
And the claim of common diseases, because they know that that is what most people will suffer from. So that even if they know that the medicine cannot cure it, then they sometimes say so. Because I have also been on buses where somebody will stand up and mention indications of a product and say maybe it can cure your headache. If you have stomach ache, it could take care of it. And then somebody in the bus will ask, oh, my child has this condition. Can it cure it as well? And the person will say, yes, it can. And will even tell you, add on this and that and that and that to cure it. Meanwhile, they probably know very well that it cannot cure it. Yes. Like you are saying, some of them are very good with their marketing.
They're extremely.
Yes. And something I think I quickly want to chip in is, although we are saying that the plant parts can cure different diseases, the dose matters. So like in orthodox medications, for example, although we are saying this cures A, B, and C, the dose that you are using is what would tell that it can cure this or not. So the same in herbal medicine. I think that's where maybe we have to look at. So the person says it can cure A, B, and C, which is true for the plant. But which part of the plant are you using? And what is the dose you are using? So for example, we say maybe the plant leaves can cure, say, diabetes. Say the stem bark can cure hypertension. You are using the leaves, and you are using the leaves as claim for the hypertension. So I think that's one thing that we need to look at. The fact that we say it can cure doesn't mean whether you use a drop or you use a whole bunch, because the dose matters. Like she said, it's the dose that gives the therapeutic activity or that gives the toxicity nature of what you are talking about.
And in addition, even how you have formed it.
Yes.
Right from the onset.
Yes.
So if something is boiled, that means you used water. So maybe that component that is needed to cure a particular condition is there. But then if you go and use alcohol for the same purpose, it will serve a different purpose. So it depends on how you form it, and then the dose at which it will do that work for you. Yeah.
Interesting. We have to go, but I think I've enjoyed this conversation. I've learned a lot, especially with the too many diseases, sicknesses that they tend to kill with these medicines.
So don't be surprised at all.
I didn't know that
surprised.
The other ones could also do the same things that theirs is also doing. But at the end of the day, it's how it's formed and the dose, like you rightly said, because the way they do their marketing is you buy the thing, at the end of the day. But like I said, I've enjoyed the conversation. Thanks to you for coming through, Mrs. Genevieve, and thanks to you as well, Dr. Doris Kumadoh, for coming through as well. They came from the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Mampong-Akuapem, and head of production is Doris Kumadoh, and Mrs. Genevieve is the research officer, also joining us this morning here as we explored herbal medication formulation and development here on our Good Living segment today. There's still more coming up here on the show. We've got Barry Moore joining us for Amo Fest. All the details you need to know about it's all coming up here on the show. And I would like to say a very big happy birthday. Blessings going out to you. Samuel Tubiba, you're the manager of Shatawale. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday going out to you, bro. God bless you. Wish you long life, good health, and more money from Shatawale. As for today, it has to spread you. If Shatta doesn't spread you today, he will have problems with us on social media, because you've done a great job for him, as far as his brand is concerned. And you've been doing great, all right? So that's what it is. There's still more coming up here on the show. Please do stay.
It's Joe made it.
Hey, I'm fighting for my blessings. Mine will be a mayor. Me and I met me a true story. Will be my throne of a Bianchi count. Me di me lay moi. I brought no ma. Fly high for my food, peace of mind. I'm a pet. Quentiane musu. Timim faho, debi. Mon frère fils, I don't baby mune. Mon famo di no me so me baga beba me mpabo. I won't quit time when I'm an. Oh yogi. Mon frère ma me sa don't baby mune. Mon famo di no me so me baga beba me mpabo. I won't quit time when I'm an. Your person will be me yaseno. Me yasena mi frantoma. Ubo mi di aya for hene count. Baby this year, me baby this year pa. Your person will be me yaseno. na ya se na me frantoma. Ubo mi di aya for hene count. Baby this shit, me ya baby this shit pa. Ade amazing, ade amazing. Ya se macha wo kwem na so mempere. Time on call you minim, ubi anso be ye. Ubi enya ni sika no unim kwan koro. Bi bonem kwan unim nam koro. Enti se wuti pupu a wo bi di bi anako bi nkwan. Hey, free like a butterfly, searching for my peace of mind. But you can't jam me a bye-bye. Me so me go so nam kwan so. Free like a butterfly, searching for my peace of mind. But you can't jam me a bye-bye. Me so me go so nam kwan so. Your person will buy me yaseno. Na yasena me frantoma. Ubo me di aya for hene count. Baby this shit, me ya baby this shit pa. Your person will buy me yaseno. Na yasena me frantoma. Ubo me di aya for hene count. Baby this shit, me ya baby this shit pa. Yeah, hello the kind meba, just saying meba. Baby I would jam a honum no enya hona meka. Sorry, meda, me sorry I meba. Of course, forward ever backwards, dear never. Kofi Annan, who be ye be weird. Jonathan was coming chroma mu be ye be weird. Despite as I'm watching my be ye be weird. I will try when you your glory days are here. I'm fighting for my blessings. Mine will be a mayor. Me and I'm a me a true me story. Will be me throne off a bianchi count. Oh you, name me di me le moi. I brought no man, fly high for my full peace of mind. Na me pe Quentiane musu, Timmy Faho, baby. Mon frère fils, I don't baby mune. Mon family no man, so me back up about me pabo. I won't quit, I'm a winner man. Go yogi. Mon frère, my miss, I don't baby mune. Mon family no man, so me back up about me pabo. I won't quit, I'm a winner man. Your person will buy me yaseno, na yasena me frantoma. Ubo mi di aya for hene count. Baby this year, me ya baby this year pa. Your person will buy me yaseno, na yasena me frantoma. Ubo mi di aya for hene count. Baby this year, me ya baby this year pa.
It's Joe made it.
Can you hear this song? If you hear this song, get your kicks on. No time, my brother, we gone. We gone.